War isn't about fighting fair, it's about outsmarting the enemy. I mean, who cares if you're running and shooting and your bullets aren't hitting them when you're behind them? You give it to them from behind. Kill me. Hey guys, Dojo here with 5 tips to help you improve your aim with 2 bonus tips towards the end. Let's go. The first tip is find the right sensitivity for you. Now, if you don't know what the sensitivity is, it's going to be how fast your POV moves. Now, this is going to be the most important aspect as it's going to help you master your aim. So now, how did you find the right sensitivity for you? Well, you see, there's 2 ways of going about it. Well, technically there's 3. The first way that you can go about it is by choosing a high sensitivity. Some pros use a high sensitivity for flicks, but what I find personally with the high sensitivity is I'm often going to be over aiming from my enemies. So if someone runs around the corner or if I'm holding an angle, I'm usually going to flick, and let's say they're here, I'm going to flick here and I'm going to over aim. Now the second way is a very low sensitivity. Now usually it kind of looks like someone's attached a brick to their mouse and it's just very slow. Like, have you ever seen someone with a low sensitivity and it's like So my tip with finding the right sensitivity for you is make sure that when you're moving from left to right on your mouse pad that you can do a full 180-degree turn. I will make sure to include a visual example in this video just to help you get it right. Now the second tip is going to be choose your grip. That kind of rhymes. It sounds so cool. Second tip, choose your grip. I like it. It's a song. So now you're going to be spending a lot of time holding your mouse. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a comfortable grip. So the different grips include claw, the palm, and the fingertip grip. My advice is that you choose something that you're most comfortable with and works best for you. I find myself to be a palm grip, kind of mixed with the fingertip grip, just because, you know, like I move around a lot and sometimes I'm like ADHD and, you know, like that's cool. But when you choose this grip, make sure that you stick to it and that you stay consistent with it so that you can kind of build a muscle memory around it and get used to it. So that is the second tip. So the third tip is get comfortable. Now I want to ask you guys a quick question. Maybe you can take a poll if I can put it over here. And it is, when you flick, do you flick with your wrist or do you flick with your arm? Just let me know out of curiosity. So which one should you use? So my advice is to use both. You see, because if you're relying on just your wrist, it's going to be inconsistent. And if you're relying on just using your arm for flicks, you're going to get tired. I mean, it doesn't matter how fit you are in the gym. I don't know. Gaming is a whole nother workout in itself, and that arm gets tired. I mean, call me a rookie, maybe I am, but just personally out of experience, incorporating both allows you to be a lot more consistent when it comes to hitting flicks or aiming quickly or hitting 180s. So the fourth tip that I have for you is build muscle memory. Now it's not so much as a practical tip as it's an experience tip. You see, because the best way to build muscle memory is just to repeat the process over and over and over again. The more you play, the more experience you're going to get, the more muscle memory you're going to build. So on that late afternoon, if you're deciding between Netflix, don't you dare choose Netflix. You game boy. You make sure you're playing consistently and you wreck those noobs. I'm just kidding. You can play whenever you want and get wrecked by whoever you want. No, seriously. Repeat the process over and over again and build muscle memory. So practical ways that you can actually build muscle memory is by sticking with whatever grip you choose is comfortable with you, and also making sure that you're being consistent when you're flicking with your wrist and with your arms, and being aware of your body. Just be aware of whether maybe you're tense or if you relax, and just by being aware of your grip or whether you're flicking with your wrist or your arm or if you're using both. Hey, if you're finding this video helpful in any way, why not let me know in the comments below? I'd love to connect with you. Hey, maybe even share it with a friend who's maybe new to PC gaming, and maybe it'll go a long way to helping them reach global elite or that top rank in whatever game they're playing. Now the fifth and final tip that I have for you is practice, practice, practice. You see, most people say with experience comes skill, but I've seen many people that have about maybe 10,000 hours in Counter-Strike and they're still really bad. So let's reword that. Intentional experience builds skill. So that means being intentional with whatever you're playing. So let's say you're hopping into competitive into Counter-Strike. That means making sure that you warm up just before you jump into a competitive game, and just being intentional with being aware, with being consistent, and making sure that you warmed up before you jam. Before you game. I meant to say before your game. And for those of you that made it this far into the video, I have 2 bonus tips for you. The first tip I have is outsmart, not out-aim. Now I know that can sound a bit contradictory considering this video is all about improving your aim, but let me show you a little bit of a clip, and I'm going to show you it here. Here I am in a 1v2 situation. Now in these kind of instances you either need really good aim, but sometimes you just need a big brain. See, because when you have a big brain and you outsmart your enemy, you don't need fantastic aim, you just simply need to be at the right place at the right time to just mow those wreckers down one time. You get them, boy, in the bam. Now realize as well, this is not your traditional ancient 1v1 combat. Don't fight fair, shoot them from behind, it's okay. And bonus tip number 2 is get comfortable gear. The gear you use is going to have a fair impact on your aim, so make sure that you get something that you're comfortable with. I'll leave a link below in the gear that I use that I'm comfortable with, and maybe you can check it out, but make sure that you find something that you personally, you're comfortable with, that you're happy with, and that you can be consistent with. It's so hot. Oh my word, in South Africa, I'm like overheating. I'm on like menopause, man-o-pause. Okay, that's a bad joke.